Hey team, it's time for an early career designer's portfolio review. I'm Megan Thomas and I'm a senior UX designer with almost 10 years of experience in enterprise software design. I've taught and mentored over 300 early career designers through UC Berkeley's UX UI Design Bootcamp. In this video, I'm going to review an early career designer's portfolio and share my thoughts as a senior designer. My goal is to provide actionable feedback to help them succeed as they look for a job in the UX industry. Join me for a stream of consciousness walkthrough as I assess one of their case studies. Remember, mine is just one opinion. Make sure to get multiple perspectives before making any changes. All right, let's dive into the review and learn together. Hey Heni, it's Megan. I'm so glad to be able to review your portfolio. Thank you so much for giving me the chance. I wanted to tell you that I like it. I haven't actually clicked through hardly anything so far, and I think it's precious. I do love a good visual animation. It's not overwhelming. It's nice and tight. I also really like this. This is super cute. I'm getting like Miro and Figma vibes. So you're kind of already telling someone subtly like, no, I'm definitely in the creative space. I know what I'm doing in here. So creative, adaptive, positive, collaborative. I love it. I bring 3+ years of experience, and a master's degree in UXD to the table. I revamped a retail company's webpage, boosting orders by 25%, and designed an app that has surpassed 100,000 downloads. That's amazing. Looking for UX and product design opportunity? Let's connect. And you got your LinkedIn link on here. That is fantastic. And it opens in a new tab. Love that even more. Live. Tell me more. Live work. So things that are currently in process. Okay, cool. Hello. During your childhood, I enjoyed crafting and painting. Same. Later influenced my focus on front-end development and UI design in undergrad. I love this. UX designer and front-end developer. I also did that. Shifted entirely to UX. Also did that. Becoming a designer with a unique perspective that blends creativity and technical expertise for user-friendly designs. In 2021, I moved to the US to pursue my master's, where I gained profound knowledge and further enhanced my skills in designing optimal user experiences, accessibility, and collaborating seamlessly. Okay, that you enhanced your skills in designing. Oh, okay, so this should be italicized like this. So that's a skill, designing optimal user experiences. So I was reading this as further enhance my skills in designing. Then we said optimal user experiences, designing accessibility is where that kind of loses me on grammar. But that's because of the emphasis with the italics. So if you said enhance my skills in, I even might put like bullet points just to make sure it's super clear. So designing accessible user experiences and collaborating seamlessly with developers and other stakeholders. I might add a little bit more clarity to that because accessibility is so important right now. And the fact that you can build accessible designs, which we will hopefully find out through your portfolio, but making sure that that comes out really clearly is going to give you an edge up or a leg up, more of an edge, whatever. Heni is extremely positive and productive. This is great. I would prioritize the one that's focused on user experience and not software developers. So I would put that first. Most people are going to scan over that first one and just be like, oh, okay, cool. These are the people who said it. That was not close enough for me to gather. So I would connect the person who said it with the feedback as tightly as possible. These are two disconnected and they feel like they're 4 different things rather than 2 different things. So maybe adjust that a little bit. This is cool. Education skills. Love this. I love that you've pulled this off of your resume and put it right here because this is where it's most important. I will say your resume is, a couple people are going to be mad at you. And I literally know this because I just had an AMA with a technical recruiter. It's available in the Patreon, but she specifically called out extra small fonts. So I know you've done this because you wanted to keep everything on one page. However, I think you've got so much here that you actually do have the opportunity to put this on a second page. I bet you have heard a ton of feedback from people who are like, nothing over 1 page. Honestly, when you have quality experience and you really need to communicate it, 2 pages is the kind of accepted standard. 1 page, often kind of gets pushed off as this didn't have enough information to convince me that you've done the work that I need you to be able to do. Because remember, this is a giant page of searchable text. These are all keywords. So if you want to add, and I would make these easier to read. This is like a size 8 font. If I drop this in my Google Drive, which I did, and there's a couple of recruiters that would be so angry at how hard it is to read that you might get put in the no pile just because it's just really small text. So you might consider spacing this out a little bit and putting it onto 2 pages. I know that's hard and frustrating, especially if you've done a ton of work on making this fit on 1 page. But know that some people are going to be like mad because they can't read it. So just a thought. Again, don't change anything just because I said it. But it's interesting. What's this down here? What's that say? Calendly, LinkedIn, email. Oh, no. Subject, follow-up. Good job. Almost no one does that. I love it. And then YouTube. Oh, you got a YouTube. I'm not going to click over there because I have ADHD and I will get distracted. But yay. This one's not obvious though. I would consider using, like, since you have the logo, the LinkedIn logo and the YouTube logo and the Outlook logo, is this the Calendly logo? I feel like they've changed it. It's like a blue box with a C in it, but like double check that because that's not obvious. I see now that it's a calendar with a little clock here, but at first glance, I would not have thought that that's how I would schedule time with you. So no worries. And then work. Let's see. So recent work. I'm loving this. I feel like you have more experience than this, but I'm really loving, they're almost like nutritional labels. The deliverables that you're featuring in here: solution to improve medical adherence rate, components, library, and documentation, lineup, new idea for an existing feature, add feature to schedule mentor for university students. These are looking really good. Oh, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? Design system. It's interesting that you're a UX designer here, but we're focusing on a design system. So I'm going to click on it, but I kind of really want to come back to that EasyDoc app because that seems more fun just because I'm excited. So democracylab.org. What's that? Tell me more. Make tech do good. We connect tech for good projects with skilled volunteers and socially responsible companies. Nice. Okay. This is cool. All right. So you've given me context for what this is. I love it. I personally would take off that like ending slash. I don't know why they keep appending it, but it just visually makes me sad, but is obviously not an issue. Okay. DLab provides, add an S right here, an open avenue for a better connection, more efficient collaboration, and increased impact. Volunteer-based. Nice. Oh, why I thought there's a need of design system. So what you need to update is grammar. So why I thought there was a need for a design system. And you don't need to put the exclamation points. Upon joining Democracy Lab, I observed several user experience issues arising when volunteers join or leave the organization. Oh, I can see where this is going. In a short time frame, 3 significant problems require attention and, if resolved, can contribute to reducing onboarding time, streamlining component design, and enhancing collaboration between designers and developers. I'm loving it so far. Honestly, you're noticing a problem. Okay, so I'm going to tell you that this does not sell the problem that you're actually solving. I thought clicking on this was going to be a case study about the nice little design system that you made because of a school project or whatever. So instantly I'm projecting things that are not at all true about this design system. So let's think about how you can sell this a little bit more. And I say this because most of the time this is coming from, again, this is not, you actually have more experience than most people who I review their portfolio. And typically we would see this kind of deliverable with a bullshit project. Let's just be honest, like just some, like I did a school thing, but you're so much further than that. You're saying there's a problem because of design inconsistency, efficiency issues, and decreased brand value. Yes. This is so much more powerful than just, I made a design system, because most of the time when we see design systems, they're bullshit. So there was no need. It was just part of the project. Oh, I'm loving this. I kind of wish that there weren't just like 50 shades of gray on here, but that's not a big deal. That was me adding my personal opinion about what grays mean. So ignore that. Range from color schemes and typography choices. Oh my God. Standardized design systems causing inefficiencies. This is phenomenal. How I started. Before diving into the work, I felt it was crucial to have a conversation with the organization's designers and developers. My goal was to ensure the design system we were about to create would be user-friendly and accessible to volunteers, even if they had no prior experience using it. What are the most common design challenges volunteers face when working on projects, and how can the design system address these challenges effectively? How do you currently document and share design assets? Yes, this is great. Because this is exactly design leadership and what we would expect from a lead UX designer kind of thing, who's coming into a project or a company that doesn't have this, but clearly is like, somebody needs to gather this and make it usable and efficient. This is great. Basic and advanced. Not sure why you have, different coloring here. I don't think it's really necessary. I thought that would be clickable because it's a different color. So just an idea. Review to gain a comprehensive understanding of the components being used. Double check your spelling and grammar. Based on the data I collected, I prioritized D on the end, components, plural, and divided them into categories. Basic, spacing, colors, typography, iconography, advanced. Yeah. Okay. Existing components, yikes. Observed a minimum of 2 instances of identical components and at most 14 distinct variations of the same component. Now I'm dying to know which one that was. Oh. Okay, this is a selection of components. There you go. This is nice. Unfortunately, I don't know why, but you said as depicted in the image below. For some reason, that wording was so professional that I will say I thought I would expect to see some alt text on this image. And it's weird that it's not showing up like when I hover, but it looks like you do have olddesignsystem.png is the alt text. So not sure why that's not showing up on my browser, but good job having the alt text on there. Nice. How I got underway to start building design system. Much like a skilled chef carefully selects and prepares ingredients before artfully plating a culinary masterpiece, I believe a design system's foundation is rooted in its spacing and grid. I began with spacing and grid because they lay the groundwork for an aesthetically pleasing and user-friendly design. Okay, yeah. Okay, interesting. 12-column grid example. I feel like some additional effort could have been made to align the 12 columns with like playing around with the gutter in between them and the margins on either side, because it might actually fit some of the grid, but not necessarily. But okay, I can see your point. Based my decision mainly on the industry's frequent use of the 12-column grid system instead of the common 4-point spacing. Okay. Yep. 60 pixel margin. Okay. To ensure consistent spacing. All right. Typography. Why does this load so slowly? Is this a super huge image? Width 1017? No, it shouldn't. I don't know why it's being so slow. Feel like these are intended to line up on the right hand side, but it seems like you've got give me some visual spacing between the picture and the text. So either scooch that picture out to the right or just give me a little bit more margin between the text and the page or in the image. This same too. And also, because everything has a gray background, and I know that like my personal preference is not to have 50 shades of gray everywhere, but because you've chosen that, you've got visual alignment issues. So these are, no, they're not actually aligned over on the side. So figure out your alignment issues. You're talking about spacing blocks and grids, and I can see how on the left we're aligned, but we're not using all of the space on the right effectively. So these things should be spaced out very similarly between section to section. So especially if you're going to call out your spacing blocks and grids, don't make somebody come in here and add a grid over this and be like, Heni, you're not even aligned. So don't give them anything to complain about or to discount you for. These are really aggressive colors. Okay, so at least these are communicating. So that's a success, that is warning, and that is critical error. Let's be real. I don't have my my contrast checker. I don't think I have it on this machine. This is a new one. Yeah, but basically these colors probably look really, really similar to each other when looking at, if you have protanopia, I think it is. I can't remember which one, but like double check your visuals, because this is a super aggressive red, and this orange and this orange are going to look like the exact same thing. So is this communicating what you intend to communicate to someone? Not written anywhere how to use these colors. I love it. Make sure these are actually communicating the expected intention for your users. But if this is what that's their color organization, that's not up to you. So never mind. I appreciate that even though the color was existing, colors were, so give a S right here, even though colors were existing, not written how to use these colors. And because of that, there were lots of variation. Yeah. Have someone come through and like read it backwards, like bottom to top, and catch any English grammar or punctuation issues. And I say this typically because, or strictly because, you don't want to give anybody a reason to put you in the no pile. And regardless of equitable hiring practices, you and I both know that some people suck. So if they review this and they see that there are some grammatical issues here, which are indicative of English being your second or third language, first, I need you to know it's fucking amazing that you speak multiple languages, and the people who are dicks about this don't see that value connect. And so they will just see like, that's not as professional. I know that that is not the case. I know for a fact that you have this much experience and professionalism that that is not the case, but that is people being discriminatory. So if we want to prevent that discrimination, let's make sure that like even the text is refined. So like, honestly, I would grab a chunk and throw it into ChatGPT and be like, are there any grammatical errors here for like perfect English, something like that, and double check, because I think you're doing a great job. And the fact that you speak multiple languages is in fact indicative of how smart you are, not what other people will assume based on grammatical errors. And this all comes from people who will judge you for grammatical stuff while also sucking at grammar. So let's just make sure that we can prevent the idiots from blocking our access to jobs that we are 100% qualified for stupid reasons. So I see it happen and I hate it, but take care of it. You got this. 14 types of buttons. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Input fields, other components. Ooh, this is so thorough. Oh, great. It's so thorough, but it's also like you just documented the essentials. Great job. Yes. Okay. Outcomes. After the design system was prepared and volunteers began using it, we observed several positive outcomes, with the most significant difference being easy onboarding, improved consistency, better collaboration. All right, Heni, this is fantastic. And I'm also going to show you something else. So I want to see a section between these two. What I would love to see, and this is actually, let me find real world you experience. Where's my, no, hold on. Hold on. I know you don't necessarily need to watch me do all this. Sorry. Wow. Revamp your case studies. Okay. So this here, and I'll share a link with you. This is super obnoxious to see, and it's also just in my drafts. But basically, this is somebody else's case study, and I'm like, it's boring. No one's going to read it. Here's a list of reasons why. And if you go to catalyte.io, this is more of a website that I think is going, or website, the kind of case study that's going to get you the attention that you should have. And these are the things that I want to see. So right here on your Democracy Lab design system, and I think I'd like to see something a little bit more engaging on here. Maybe one of those, you already have it on your homepage, like a device, like on a computer, but show me Democracy Lab's website. Maybe that could be interesting to show rather than just like this design system bit, but also, I don't know, it may be just as effective. I'm just throwing out some ideas that have been occurring to me lately. But what I loved about these two things is, one, there's the challenge and the outcome. Describe your understanding of what the company needed to accomplish briefly. Design system, this is where I like why I thought there's a need of a design system. This is already a lot of words. Let's shove it down and go problem and outcome. And so the first problem is that a lack of a design system led to inconsistency and efficiency issues and decreased the brand value. The outcome is brief overview of some kind of metrics or impact. The outcome is once the design system was created, it provided easier onboarding, and 80% of our design work relies on the design system components. So it improved our consistency. How many people used the design system? How many people had access to it after it was created and therefore were enabled to do their work faster? Literally, like, this is one little metric, but there's a couple of other different metrics you could think of to put as here's the outcome, and then better collaboration. So make it easy for the hiring manager who's looking at your portfolio case study to like not even scroll this far. I know they might, but let's get them the information that they need up front and then let them hear the story. So we want to see, and the outcomes are great. You've done a good job separating your output, which is these things, doing the work, and the outcome, which is, hey, people actually were able to create pages this much faster. Check with the Democracy Lab folks and find out like how many pages have been redesigned using this new design system and how long did it take. Your outcome was provided 17 new volunteers the opportunity to recreate 12 new pages in 50% of the time because they were able to leverage the design system components. That's an outcome. So add that here as quickly as possible so that the hiring manager is like, what am I going to see? I saw it as a mess. What's the outcome? We were more successful. We were faster and more efficient at delivering those new designs. This looks fantastic. I'm really, really happy. All right. I've talked your face off for 20 full minutes. I think this looks super good. I think you're doing a great job presenting your work and explaining yourself well. A tiny bit of refinement is needed, but like you're doing great. I appreciate the opportunity to check out your portfolio. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic week.